All right. So who do we think is the best characters in Marvel Rivals right now? I do need a light over here or something, don't I? Um, Gonna start ranking all of the heroes just based on my own experience, based on the fact that I'm playing on console. Why are these ones? Why do these have a black background and these have a translucent? Interesting. Okay. Oh, they're listed alphabetically. Let me sort them real quick based on, like, I want all the tanks up front, all the DPS in the middle, and all the strategists at the end. Magnus, you're a tank. Penny, you're a tank. God, so much DPS. I would like to put Mr. Fantastic in tanks, because that's what he is, but here we go. Alright. So that's all of our tanks. If only I could select multiple at a time. Rocket, you are indeed a support. I forget that sometimes. Sue's support. Okay, supports are all on the bottom. Cool. Hulk. I'm gonna put Hulk in B, honestly. I think. So here's the thing: is I'm not gonna rank characters based on their team ups. I'm gonna rank them on their base form because the team ups are gonna be changing. I feel like every season or so. So it's not really fair to be like, oh yeah, this is an S tier character because they have this team up. They're not gonna have it in the future, or it's gonna rotate. I think the more likely thing is that they're gonna rotate those team ups. So like, Wanda Mag used to have a team up. Now it's Wanda Strange. I think eventually they'll bring back the Wanda Mag thing because people liked it so much. Wanda Strange is fucking sicko mode, though. I don't know why more people don't run this team up. Wanda becomes an absolute tank shredder, dealing more damage than most DPS on the entire roster. But I would put Hulk higher because of the team up with Namor. But again, we're not going to factor that into the individual characters ranking. Hulk's a good character that I don't play that much because I'm not very good with him. He has a good kit. Like, he can stun a lot of ultimates. He can stun people out of really annoying abilities. He can shield. Whew. Excuse me. It's very hard to play him into certain compositions because he is strictly a brawl character, but he can dive, he can brawl. He basically just doesn't have any weapons against poke except for the fact that he can get in close and fuck him up if there's no one around. If you get a really cracked Hulk and a good team, he can go crazy, but finding a good team to complement a character like this is really difficult. Same thing kind of goes for Cap. At this point, he's just the stall bot. The only thing he's really good for is getting onto the point and picking off supports whenever the enemy team is just not paying any attention. Strange is going to go right to the top of A tier. I feel like he was so powerful in Season 0 that they had to nerf him into oblivion. They have been trying to balance it out more so that he is a little bit more powerful, but just haven't quite gotten there. I still think he's really good. He's my tank main right now. I've been playing a lot and getting a lot of good value out of him, so I know, like, the power of this character. He's basically a brawl. Like, despite what his kit would imply, being able to combo his primary with his melee into the Maelstrom, it can just shred fucking anybody. And the fact that, like, if you ult an entire enemy team and you have Maelstrom at the ready, you just get a team wipe. It's really crazy. Groot is also in the same boat. I feel like people slept on him for a while, and then they realized, oh, he's really powerful, and then they just invented new characters that can completely fuck him over. I think in certain teams he could be better than Strange. You never want to find a Groot on your team if you're playing, like, really heavy poke, though, because he always just happens to put up walls in the last possible spot that you need them. Penny, I would put right here. Slightly more valuable than Cap, less valuable than Hulk. The Rocket team-up is really good currently, but again, trying to just judge them based on just their own kit regardless of any team-ups that they might have. I feel like Penny's also very team-dependent, because if you have a team that works with you, stays in your nests, and actually plays smart, you can go crazy. If your DPS are doing shit, you can go crazy. If the enemy team is just not aware, you can go fucking crazy. I can't tell you, playing Penny and Strange, how many times I've gotten multi-kills from, like, spawn, just, like, setting traps right outside the enemy spawn door. Literally just the other day, I opened a portal in front of enemy spawn and killed, like, 3 people. And you would think, like, season 1, I hit Grandmaster. This season, I'm about to break into Grandmaster. And you would think that at that rank, people would be paying attention to shit like that, but no, I have gotten so many trap kills with these two, just in spawn. It's insane. Magneto is obviously an S tier tank. I don't get a lot of value out of him, honestly. The first time that I ever had a good game with Magneto was a few days ago, and it just, like, it doesn't feel good playing him, if that makes sense. He provides a lot of value to the team, but it's just not fun. And that's why I think I've never really picked him up and gotten very good with him. I am going to start playing him more just because I know how powerful he and Emma are. But Strange at the moment just is a little bit more fun and feels more like fast-paced. Magneto's more like slow and methodical, which is why I think I don't like him too much. I do think Thor is very good too. I think less than Strange, but better than Groot at the moment. That may change. I don't play him a lot, and I don't see a lot of Thor players. I know some people who are, like, really insanely good with him right now. And I know a lot of pre-rework Thor players are really upset with how they changed him. But honestly, I've seen him popping off even more lately than I did before the nerf. Venom's a hard one, because if you get a good Venom, like a really good Venom, he can pop the fuck off. I would say it's very team dependent. He could go either way right here. I'm going to put him above Penny just because I feel like Penny usage is going to drop off in a big way after the season updates. Thing, I really like the Thing. I like playing as the Thing, but I understand that he's not very useful at the moment. Emma is just an easy S tier tank. She can shut down so many characters, so many ultimates, so many abilities. She can just, like, basically feed someone to her team, quite literally. If you have a team that plays with your Emma and just targets enemies based off of who she targets, you guys will completely steamroll everybody. Oh, and that's all the tanks. Alright, cool. We didn't have a single D or F tier tank. Panther is going to go in C tier, right next to Thing, because if you've got really good Panthers who are playing the game right and who know how to pick targets and hit combos and escape when they need to, they can pop the fuck off. But it's very dependent on what they choose to do and what the enemy team does. Like, if someone goes who's a good support to shut them down? Adam. If someone goes Adam, or hell, I'd say even a Rocket, characters who can escape him really easily or just completely ignore him due to soul bond, then he's basically useless. Widow, you see some really crazy Widows hitting ridiculous headshots every once in a while, but it's so few and far between that I can't put her anything above D tier. Hawkeye will probably go in B tier. Again, this is like a console ranking. I play on Xbox, so this is based on my personal experiences with it. I can get a lot of value out of Hawkeye sometimes. Sometimes, into certain team comps. If the enemies are smart and actually know how to play with cover, then you're kind of screwed. The Luna team-up does help with that, but overall, I don't think this guy will ever escape B tier. Hela, that's an easy S tier. I'll be so real. We'll put her at the top of A tier. Because into Brawl comps, she's really good. Into Dive comps, she is not very good. Into Poke comps, it just really depends on your aim. So it can go either way. Iron Fist, I would say... I'd say low B tier for Iron Fist. Pre-nerfs, he was probably an A tier for sure, but he's just so counterable at this point. Iron Man will join Hela at the top of A tier. I actually started playing Iron Man a lot now that flyers are a good comp. Um, but even like if I'm not using the Ultron team up, I will pop the fuck off with Iron Man unless there's like a really cracked Hela on the enemy team. The only time I have ever not been able to do good with him is when I start the match doing good and then the enemy team counters immediately by playing poke. I got him to Lord this season just because I was fucking blasting fools, dude. I was getting MVP so much. Magic's also an easy A tier. I would put her above Iron Man even. She's just always been solid, even when they nerfed her. She's still always able to get value. Moon Knight is like a Moon Knight's like slightly better than Thing. If the enemy team is playing Brawl and they're just really fucking dumb and they all just stick together, Moon Knight's the perfect pick. But I feel like everyone has gotten to the point where, well, most people have gotten to the point where they know if there's a Moon Knight on the enemy team to just like watch out for onks in weird places and they start shooting them. Obviously, like, yes, it is a meme. People are stupid and they ignore that shit left and right. But at this point, if you're playing at a relatively high level or even like mid-ELO, like Diamond and Grandmaster, I feel like most people just know how to deal with him now. Namor has always been like a B tier. He's good at what he's good at, right? But he can't really achieve much more than that. Psylocke at this point, I want to rate her really high because she popped the fuck off in early seasons, but I just don't see this character anymore. Like, nobody plays her. So we're going to pop her at the top of C tier. Punisher is an easy S right now. I don't even think anything needs to be said about that. Wanda, I don't know. I'm really, really, really good with Wanda. If I play Wanda in a match, even if there's not a Strange team up, I usually get MVP with her. But I realize that that's not the case for everyone. She's not great at everything. I find the best value out of her whenever I'm just diving supports or like picking certain targets, trying to sneak around and get a few kills here and there. But nobody plays her like that. Everyone just like front lines with her, and it's really weird. We will put her in B tier above Hawkeye. Spider-Man, I would put right here next to Panther. Actually, I would put above Panther. Only because he has better mobility. His combo is a little bit quicker. Which sounds insane to say because Panthers can kill you in like half a second flat. He continues to like lose more and more power as time goes on, and people complain about dive being too strong. That's a whole other discussion I'm not even going to get into, but Season 1, actually, I ran Spidey and my buddy ran Magic, and we soloed all the way to Grandmaster with that combination. It was insane. We would have so many games where we had like 50, 60 plus kills in games that like didn't even last for multiple rounds. Like we just won immediately or won the first two. And it was insane. Squirrel Girl will go... Actually, you know what? I lied. I've changed my mind on Widow. She is an F tier. Squirrel Girl will go... We'll put her at the bottom of A tier. She's an easy character to play. She gets a lot of value into bigger tanks. But a lot of the time, she's just a character who does a lot of damage and doesn't get any actual value. So, Star-Lord is an S tier. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Doesn't matter what they really do to change him. He is always an S tier. If you know how to play that character, you can just pop the fuck off. Storm's like a... I don't know, because if you have a really good Storm, she provides a lot of value for the team. But you never really have good Storms, so she goes in C tier. Bucky is not S tier, but definitely up here with Hela and Magic. I feel like he just consistently always is able to get value. And he's been one of the strongest characters since the beginning. Wolverine. Fine, yeah, I'll put him in S. He's really good. Fantastic is... He's A tier. I'll put him in A. Human Torch. People complain about his nerfs. And say that he's dog shit now. This guy's still strong as fuck. I don't know what people are talking about. Like, yeah, they modified his cooldowns a little bit and they took away a little tiny bit of damage. The only thing that really bothered me with his kit was that they nerfed his overshield and they increased the cooldown time on his charge slam ability or whatever. That was like, shit, you've just killed this guy. He is still playable. He's absolutely still playable, and he's very, very good. He just has slightly less survivability now. I would put him not up with Strange, probably above Thor. No, we'll put him below Thor and Groot. We'll put him next to Squirrel Girl. That feels fine. Ultron's hard because he's basically a DPS with just a passive heal benefit. But he is very good at that. He can kill in about 2 seconds, which is better than any of these characters. So we'll go to the top of B tier. Adam, if you get a really cracked Adam, you basically never lose. I would even go so far as to say that Adam is an S tier healer. The only thing weighing this dude down is that he can't fucking escape. Which, like, I know is the point because he has Soulbond, but that's on such a long cooldown at this point that he needs some kind of mobility. Motherfucker is basically Marvel's Superman. I think he's even more powerful than Superman. He needs some kind of mobility. And it's just really ridiculous that they won't give it to him, so he goes right there for now. Cloak and Dagger. A lot of, like, high-level players will tell you that Cloak and Daggers suck. And they're just fucking wrong, man. They are fucking wrong. This is an A-tier character. Better than Adam, better than Iron Man. Jeff, I would put probably in B tier. He's a character who, like, I used to say he was D tier easy, but now when I see him on my teams, I'm like, well, you know what? I'd rather have that than a Hawkeye or a Venom, so. Loki's an S tier. If people know how to play Loki, he just runs the entire game. Luna is the same way. Mantis, I would put probably in B tier next to Jeff. Rocket, I would put in... I just never like seeing Rockets on my team. When I see a Lord Rocket especially, I'm like, we're going to lose. We're going to fucking lose. And the same goes for Sue. She's really good, but when I get a Lord Sue on my team, she has the least healing in the entire game. Like, no assists, no kills, no damage. It's kind of crazy. But I know when people are actually good with her, she is really, really good. So she will go to A tier. I guess I probably... Because Rocket's definitely not an F. I didn't even need the D tier, really, did I? I could have just said that, like, Rocket goes... Rocket goes here. And Widow goes here. Yeah, that feels fair.